Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nate Hall. I'm a sales engineer and the sales manager here at MachMotion. I'm so glad that you've carved out some time in your afternoon to join us, kind of learn about our place in the industry and hopefully benefit from your time here today. We'll start in just a few moments, but do have a few housekeeping items to go over before we start. First, I want to let you know that we will be recording today's webinar. We'll post this on our YouTube channel. We'll post it on our website, probably on social media. We will also be sending a video, a recording with a link to the video for your future viewing. I encourage you to watch it over again, maybe share it with your colleagues. Hopefully you find something that you feel you would benefit your company and the way that you manufacture your products. Second, I'll direct your attention to the bottom menu of the webinar screen. There you'll see an icon that reads Q&A with two word bubbles around it. There, throughout the presentation, you can ask any questions that you might think of. At the end of the webinar, we will stay online to answer as many of those questions as we possibly can. We may not be able to answer all of the questions during the webinar, but we'll do our absolute best. Please keep your questions in the Q&A section, not in the general comments section. So feel free to submit those questions throughout the webinar. If we don't get to answer them during the presentation, either myself or someone on my team will be able to follow up with you. Again, if you're just joining us on the webinar, again, my name is Nate Hall. I'm a sales engineer here at MachMotion, and I'm also the sales manager. Let's get into it. For 23 years, we have helped thousands of companies optimize and extend the reliable production life of their CNC machines. After talking with thousands of CNC owners and operators, we have found the top 3 blind spots every CNC owner should know as it relates to their aging cutting equipment. I talk to operators, I talk to maintenance technicians, I talk to production managers and programmers every single day that are dealing with old technology and obsolete controls. Sometimes the problem is a failed 20-year-old OEM component. Sometimes the controller is giving them error codes that they just cannot clear. Sometimes the controller buttons are not working, or worst case scenario, the CNC control has died and is not working altogether. The result in these scenarios is always the same. Production stops, sabotaging your goals and your customer deadlines. So what can you do? Today, I'm going to walk you through how most companies commonly deal with these problems and why they are the top 3 blind spots every CNC owner should know. So let's get into it. The first blind spot we've discovered is that many companies look for the seemingly quickest and easiest fix for aging control. We refer to this as the Band-Aids and bubblegum approach. These short-term fixes usually mean repeatedly calling in service teams, using your own maintenance team, or going out on eBay and searching for a replacement part when something breaks. We've learned through our experience that this is not a good way to solve your CNC problems, because these will only ever be a short-term fix to a long-term problem. In the short term, this may help you out of a jam today, right now, but in the long run, you will be left vulnerable to other unplanned failures. The second blind spot we often hear about is resorting to buying other used machinery. As I'm sure many of you know, these come with their own set of problems. Specifically, you're usually stuck buying a machine as is. You're blind to the maintenance history, you have limited to no support, and more often than you might think, they suffer damage during transit that ends up being your problem to fix. This actually happened to me personally. I bought a milling machine about 18 months ago. When the customer loaded it on the truck, it was working. When it got to my shop, it was dead on arrival. I had to look around in my area to find a service tech who could come into the shop. He troubleshot for a couple days and ended up finding a fiber optic cable that jiggled loose during transit. It ended up being my problem to fix and sat for about 6 to 8 weeks longer than it should have before I could actually run the machine. The other concern with used machines is a lot of times you have to compromise by getting a machine that isn't exactly what you want. Plus, integrating a used machine with dated technology into your other production systems can be a frustrating and time-consuming process. I hear all the time that a used machine gives our customers the same problems they already had, even if it takes some time for them to show up. The third and final blind spot is our customers just throwing their hands up and buying a brand new machine. Maybe this is out of pure frustration, or because at their company, this is just what they've always done. But buying new is often a huge waste of money and costs a lot more than optimizing your current CNC machine, especially once you consider other hidden costs like retooling, integration, more operator training, and adapting the footprint of a new machine on your plant floor. So instead of jumping on the same bandwagon as everyone else, our most successful customers have found there is a better way. In short, they're evaluating if they can get everything they need by optimizing their existing CNC machines. First, they're completing a needs analysis with us to determine what part of the machine actually needs attention. After completing so many of these projects, you might be shocked at how fast this needs analysis process is. Just 5 questions help us determine right away where exactly we stand. But sometimes these questions uncover a few more issues, and in those cases, we do a comprehensive 45-point health check on your machine. Then we'll give you a quote that's quick, that's accurate, and that includes all of the options. The bottom line is we take a little time up front to make sure you have the information you need to make an informed decision. Second, we determine if the machine only needs work on the controls or if we need to expand the project to include other parts of the machine or production process. The target we stay laser focused on and the benefit to our customers is a modern and connected system on the machine they already have, which includes network security, live support from our real live in-person technicians, and fast, seamless program transfers. Today, I wanted to take just a couple minutes to share some of our customers' success stories where we've delivered just that to our partners. Hydro Solutions of Duluth had a problem on its hands they needed to solve quickly. Their Jet Edge high rail water jet, the heartbeat of the production system, had repeated and unexpected failures, and every minute they were down meant lost revenue and customer delays. Hydro Solutions of Duluth, like many companies in these situations, feared they were limited to just 2 options: either buy a brand new machine or use Band-Aids and bubblegum to keep the existing one running. As you can imagine, the team at Hydro Solutions was not satisfied with either choice. Buying new would not only cost way more, but come with all kinds of headaches related to integration and a different shop floor footprint. In addition, bandaging an old machine didn't guarantee that something wouldn't break days or hours later. Hydro Solutions owner Dan Larson knew there had to be a better alternative solution, so he reached out to MachMotion. Dan learned about our improved method to CNC optimization, where companies like his, as some clients describe it, better than new at a much lower cost. Our second story comes from American Gear Company, an outdoor equipment company that produces skate, surf, and snowboards in Utah. They were facing a challenge when their control began to give them issues on their Como gang spindle router. There have been numerous instances where this high production machine had unexpectedly failed, frustrating the operators and, more importantly, delaying their deadlines. Many companies in these situations, like American Gear Company, felt that their options were very limited. They could either buy a brand new machine or use Band-Aids and bubblegum to keep the existing one operating. However, neither decision satisfied their needs. There was no guarantee that bandaging their existing router would stop something else from breaking in the future. And an expensive new machine would not only cost a fortune, but would also include additional headaches like rewriting the programs, tooling, and rigging the move of the machine, just to name a few. American Gear Company's owner, Adam, realized there had to be a better solution. So he turned to MachMotion. In doing so, he discovered that CNC optimization is designed for the long haul, making it possible for companies like his to obtain the results they want from their existing CNC machines at a fraction of the price of a new one. Adam says MachMotion has unlocked the full potential of this once flaky machine after a turnkey install of a control upgrade package. After projects with us in both of these cases and many, many others, our customers enjoy these three key benefits. First, they experience less unplanned downtime. They go from operating an outdated, inefficient, and isolated control to a connected, integrated, and supported control system. Second, they experience a faster speed of implementation rather than shopping around for a machine, waiting for the machine to arrive from one company, rigging and transport from another, and reconfiguring equipment on the shop floor. They are partnering with MachMotion for a quick and seamless optimization project on their current machine. Finally, they are enjoying a tremendous amount of savings. Instead of buying another machine, which is essentially just another version of the same frame, they are eliminating that waste and giving a second production life to the machine they already have. As we wrap up today, I want to make you aware that my team and I have left a total of 4 15-minute spots available on our calendars today to speak immediately with attendees of this webinar. If a one-on-one conversation would be an asset to you to begin your needs analysis on your machine, please type yes to lock in one of these appointments today. If you don't get one of these spots, we'll be in touch with you in the next day or so. Please make sure you don't respond anonymously so we know who to reach out to when you send your no. This brings us to the end of our webinar today. Stay tuned for our Q&A session where we will answer any questions submitted throughout the presentation. Thank you all for watching the top 3 blind spots every CNC owner should know. I'm really glad that you could join us today. You will receive an email link where you can click on and watch again this broadcast. So you can, again, watch it again and share it with someone else on your team that might be interested. If you are interested in talking through your CNC machine optimization options, we are very easy to get a hold of. Go to our website. There's a form that you can fill out to secure an appointment with myself or someone else on my sales team. You can also reach out to us by phone. You'll speak to Kaylee in our front office, and she'll put you through with someone who can help. So again, so glad you could join us today. We'll go ahead and jump to the Q&A part of the webinar and answer any questions you might have had through the presentation. All right, bear with us for just a second. All right, thanks. First question is, what can I do if I think there's problems with my ball screw on my on-strip router? I want to update my controls, but I have other issues. This falls into the other things that could possibly go wrong with my control. We have technicians that are actually capable of fixing a ball screw or repacking a ball screw on site. We can run some tests to see if it's worn in just one location or if you've got wear throughout the full ball screw. That lets us know if there's a problem with the screw itself or with just the nut. So we definitely have the tools and the ability to work through that problem, see exactly what it is, and then be a part of the solution for getting that updated. Next question comes from Joss. How many controls have you shipped? Like I said, we've been in business for over 20 years. I don't have that exact number off the top of my head, but I know that it's been in the thousands. We ship between 100 to 200 controls per year. So we've got a lot of them out in the field. Chances are there's someone, within a couple hours drive that is running one of our control systems. Next control comes from Josiah. That was the question I just read. How many controls have you shipped? Next question comes, what machine types do you have options for? The answer is really everything. If it's a CNC machine, we likely have a solution for it. Really, the only two we don't would be a tube bender type machine or a plasma machine, but we keep everything else in our control arsenal and can update just about everything. The most typical machine types that we do are mills. We have a good 3-axis milling package. We put it on knee mills and boring mills all the time and have a lot of them running in the field. Where our real sweet spot is large format shape cutting machines. So we do a lot of CNC routers. We do a lot of CNC water jets. These are machines that are big, that are hard to move. Definitely the frames have, the frame is always going to outlast the OEM control. So these are really, really good candidates for a retrofit. We also are a leader in the grinding space. We have developed grinding controls for surface grinding, centerless grinding, and OD/ID grinding. Really have the only retrofit control in the space and have put a lot of time into these control packages. They're easy for operators to run. They're very, very impressive. So if you if you're a grinding operator, I'd love to show you what we've done with the grinding space. Next question, can you retrofit a mill turn CNC 6-axis? The answer to that is no. There is a limitation with our lathe profile where we cannot do coordinated control of a C-axis spindle. So that's really the only, you'll notice when I gave a rundown of our machine types, I didn't say lathe. There is that one limitation that we have that would exclude us from doing a 6-axis mill turn CNC. I think that's it for the questions. I'll be here for another, if you get in the middle of typing, go ahead and hit me with another question. I'd be happy to answer anything else you guys might have. All right, next question. Can you retrofit a 3-axis mill that uses FANUC servo motors and spindle motors? When we do a retrofit, in our experience, the best option is to replace all of the original control system hardware. In our experience, that's not just the front end control, the HMI, but that includes the electrical panel and the servo motors on the machine. So when we do a retrofit, we go all the way to the tip of the servo motor. The reason we do this is not to needlessly spend your money, but let's look into the future, 2, 3, 5 years. Let's say if you break an encoder cable 5 years from now, you're essentially back right where you started. Looking for a cable that might not be in production anymore, that's very hard to get a hold of. Same thing with motors and drives. So we are very big advocates for complete retrofits, which includes the front end HMI, the electrical panel on the machine, and the servo axes on the machine. This ensures a successful startup, power up, and then allows us to support you at a very high level for years to come. Are you planning to do a laser retrofit in the future, or have you already? The answer is no to both. Doing something in the laser space is something that is, I think, on our long-term to-do list, but it's one of those things that we've thought about, strategized about, never have actually gotten to the point of being able to do all the integrations on a laser machine. So the short answer to that is no, but who knows what the future holds. Like I said, we're good in other large format shape cutting. We've got really good tools for it, but have no plans to do a laser retrofit in the future. I have a question from a current user. I have an upgrade on an old Supermax mill, and it really brought things back to life and taught this new dog new tricks. Thanks for the shout out there, Pat. Have you upgraded your manuals? Our documentation is live and always a work in progress. So we're adding to that documentation every day. Pat, if you have a recommendation of something that you'd like to see, reach out to one of our support techs. If you put in a request for something that you'd like to see, that's something that, again, we're always looking for exactly what our customers want to see in documentation and then updating those in real time. We have some really cool tools here that allow us to write our own documentation and then keep it up to date as we get feedback from our customers in real time. How long does a retrofit take? The interesting thing about our history is we've gone one of two ways with all of our retrofits. In one scenario, we will actually ship a kit to an end user. Most manufacturers are fully capable of doing the mechanical, electrical portion of a retrofit. They're in and around maintaining their machinery every day anyways. So when it comes to taking the old motors off, putting the new ones on, powering up the enclosure, they are perfectly capable of doing this work on their own. When we ship a kit to a customer, they really kind of choose their own adventure. I have had a customer of mine do a retrofit over a weekend. So they decommissioned the old control on a Friday, worked over the weekend, powered it up on a Monday, and they were making parts by Tuesday. We've had other customers that treat their retrofit as a as-time project, and it takes them some time. But they're really setting the pace for their own install there. In either case, we'll support you through it. Make sure that you have a running machine at the end of it. The other option is a full turnkey system. Most of our turnkey installations take 1 week to complete. We'll come in on a Monday, decommission the old control, fully install, wire up, and calibrate the control through the course of the week, and then leave you with a running machine on Friday. There are some bigger machines that extend to a second week. There are some more complicated software packages that we've done on machines that take some additional time. But by and large, our turnkey projects, we're able to leave you with a running machine within a week. Any other questions anyone has today? I'll give 20 more seconds to take another question if anyone has one. I think one's coming. Bear with me. False alarm, that must be it. Again, I'm very, very grateful that you have taken some time out of your day. We are a manufacturing plant ourselves. We know what it's like to make and ship stuff. And I'm sure everyone that was here had a busy day. And I am so appreciative that you took a few minutes out to learn from us. And I hope we have a chance to work together in the future. Like I said, myself and my sales team, we've left some appointments open today. If you would like one of those appointments, you can type yes in the comments section, or just go to our website and fill out a form, or just give us a call. I know both he and myself will be in our offices the rest of the day, ready to take a call to talk through your needs analysis, see if we can partner with you to help keep your CNC machines running. Again, thank you so much. For those of you, again, that registered before the webinar, look for that link to be able to watch and share again. And again, I'm so glad that you joined us. Hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week as well. Take care.